It was the night before the U.S. Open final. The biggest match of Jannik Sinner's life was less than 24 hours away. Millions of people were watching. The pressure was suffocating. And in a quiet locker room at Flushing Meadows, his coach, Darren Cahill, walked up to him and said just two sentences. "Do you know who the two people most proud of you are right now? Your parents?" Sinner stopped. And then something happened that almost no champion allows in the hours before a Grand Slam final. He got chills. Not from the crowd noise, not from the trophy, from two words, his parents, Sinner later admitted. "The best compliment I got was from Darren before the final. He said, 'Do you know who the two people who are most proud of you are? Your parents.' That gave me chills. That one moment unlocked everything." He walked onto Arthur Ashe Stadium and dismantled Taylor Fritz in straight sets. Grand Slam number 2, done. But here's what nobody asked after that victory. Why did those two words hit so hard? Why did a 23-year-old world number 1, a man who had already conquered everything, freeze at the mention of his parents? Darren Cahill knows why. And what he has revealed about Jannik Sinner's family behavior is unlike anything he has ever seen in 30 years of coaching champions. To understand why Sinner's behavior is so unusual, you first have to understand who Darren Cahill is. This is a man who has coached Andre Agassi, Leighton Hewitt, and Simona Halep, all to the world number 1 ranking. He has stood in the corner of some of the greatest players who ever lived. He has seen talent, obsession, genius, and ego in every shape imaginable. When Cahill joined Sinner's team in July 2022, he had already seen everything tennis had to offer. He was not easily impressed. And then he met Jannik Sinner's family. Cahill recently pulled back the curtain. I speak about his parents all the time and his upbringing and his grounded upbringing, the way he treats people, not his forehand. Not his fitness, not his serve, his upbringing, his parents. For a coach of Cahill's experience, that is extraordinary. Because in professional tennis, most coaches talk about technique, tactics, and titles. Darren Cahill keeps talking about Johann and Siglinde Sinner, two people who have never held a tennis racket professionally in their lives, a chef and a waitress from a small mountain village in the Italian Alps. So, what exactly did he see that made him stop and notice? Here's where it gets fascinating. Most tennis families at this level change. Fame arrives, money flows in, the spotlight turns on, and slowly, almost invisibly, the people around the champion start to change with it. They start attending every tournament. They start giving opinions. They start believing the fame belongs to them too. Sinner's parents did the opposite. His coach, Simone Vagnozzi, said it plainly. The parents of Jannik are wonderful. Really wonderful. Sometimes they come to the tournament and they do not speak one word about tennis. They are just there. They enjoy the life of the tournament. Read that again. They come to watch their son, the world number 1, and they do not speak one word about tennis. No advice, no pressure, no opinions on his backhand or his serve percentage. They sit in the stands, watch their boy play, and simply love him. That is the unusual behavior. In a world full of tennis parents who push, lecture, and hover, Johann and Siglinde Sinner arrive and say nothing. And somehow that silence has been the loudest voice in Jannik's career. Sinner himself confirmed it. "He is like a second father to me. I am happy to have him here." He was talking about Cahill. But the reason Cahill feels like a second father is because Jannik's first father taught him exactly what a real father looks like. Present, quiet, proud, not pushing, just there. Now here is the part Cahill finds most remarkable. This family behavior, this quiet, pressure-free love did not just shape Sinner as a person, it built him as a champion. Cahill described it plainly. He has got this champion mindset that I think a lot of players do not have. Certain players do have it for sure. But I believe he was born with it, and he loves those situations and those moments. Born with it. But where does a champion mindset come from? It comes from never being told you are not enough. It comes from parents who let you choose your own sport, your own path, your own pace. It comes from a household where love was never conditional on winning. Sinner said it himself, "I wish that everyone could have my parents. They always let me choose whatever I wanted. They never put pressure on me." And Cahill, after coaching the greatest players on the planet, confirms it. The person you see on the tennis court, this focus, this attention to detail, he is not the same guy off the court. But he has the mentality on a tennis court that is special. And that is why he and Carlos are doing what they are doing. That switch from carefree, joking, laughing Jannik off the court to locked-in, ice-cold Jannik on it, that is the direct product of a childhood where the court was never a place of fear. It was a place of joy, because his parents never made it feel like anything else. After Sinner won the 2025 Australian Open, a reporter asked him where he planned to keep the trophy. He did not hesitate for even a second. "I plan to keep it at my parents' house. 4 Grand Slams, world number 1 for over a year. millions in prize money, and the trophy lives at a small home in the Italian Alps, next to a ski lodge where his father used to cook and his mother used to serve meals to travelers. And there was a moment after his semi-final win at the 2025 Australian Open that almost nobody noticed. Sinner walked off Rod Laver Arena, past the cameras, past the crowd, and the first thing he did was hug Darren Cahill's wife Victoria in the hallway. Not a handshake. A hug. Like family. That is the unusual behavior. Most champions collect trophies for themselves. Sinner collects them for the people who never asked for them. And Cahill, a man who has coached legends, sees it every single day. Darren Cahill has coached world number ones. He has stood in the corners of giants. He has seen talent that took your breath away and ego that could fill an arena. But he keeps talking about a chef and a waitress from South Tyrol, because the secret to Jannik Sinner is not the forehand. It is not the fitness. It is not even the champion mindset Cahill raves about. It is the fact that two ordinary people raised him to stay ordinary. And in professional sports, that is the most extraordinary thing of all. The trophies are in the Alps, and so is his heart.